Hello, how are you? So I spent an entire playlist figuring out how to write an GOAP algorithm, goal-oriented action planning algorithm. I will include that in the description. The sole purpose of that is to write basic configurations for artificial intelligence, right? So I constantly show that particular video in Unity where someone is creating a bunch of variables and defining some actions based on the variables and defining goals. So this is my main inspiration, and whenever this stuff is working in a game, when the actions are respected, there's some game example in here where the characters are following the rules of whatever actions define. I was really interested in building the backend for it. The reason for backend was I was editing everything in JSON by hand, and whenever you edit your configuration files by hand, it means your developer experience is, well, bad, it sucks. And whenever you edit configurations by hand, it means your software is shit. There needs to be some configuration tool. And the best configuration tool I found was Django Python with basic SQLite database. So what this allows me to do, actually, let me show this first. I am able to create my variables. Let's show it here. These variables will define a world state. So a parameter alive matches my alive in here. So there's enemy alive, C ammo, and C ammo. I've got a bunch of goals, which is kill enemy or at least find peace. So there's my kill enemy, and the state it searches for is that the variable enemy alive is false. So if we go deep, killing enemy means that the enemy alive variable is supposed to be false. So this admin panel, of course, is generated by Django, awesome tool. And yeah, let's show that in action. So I did rewrite the algorithm in Python a while ago, and what it does is I basically iterate over the variables I have. I give a simple form, and I can fill in a bunch of fields, right? So, for example, if our variable is injured, the list of actions should be different. So now you see that it decided to find a healing potion or whatever. Then the action is to heal, and only then it will pick up a weapon, it will find an ammo. But in order to pick up a weapon, you actually need to not have a weapon. So, for example, if my character already has a weapon, then the result will be different. So yeah, we didn't need to find the weapon, we just find ammo, etc., etc. Cool, right? So yeah, if we see heal, it will probably decide to do something else. Well, you get the point. Aiming only is needed when we are not on the line of fire, so I set myself on the line of fire, and it doesn't even try to aim. it will immediately attack. So this is a demo. Let's go deeper maybe inside the project itself. So here's my plan domain. What it is basically a root level model where I would store my variables inside, right? So all my variables are inside the plan domain, and we've got some nice description of that. My goals, well, of course, my goals are also inside that plan domain. My goal state, which was killing an enemy in order to kill him, right? Of course, our foreign key is the goal domain. We've got some variables. Oh, as a matter of fact, that should be a foreign key. My mistake, but still it worked. And the value, of course, if let's see it here. So in this goal, this state, enemy alive should be false. So this is exactly what we see in here. What about my actions? Of course, they are inside my goal plan domain. We've got some basic name for it, for the action. And inside that action, as we showed, there should be a reference to a variable. It should be false, right? So we are looking at this. Yeah, so this is my name for an action. There's our variable, C enemy, and the value should be a Boolean. And in order to store it in database, I didn't really bother with defining different tables for preconditions and post conditions. I just set up a field, right? So if I go to my admin, so where was I? Yeah, let's go back to my actions. So finding weapon, right? Yeah, let's go to find weapon. Yeah, search for a weapon. So C weapon in post conditions. C weapon is in my post conditions, and in order to start finding a weapon, we shouldn't have weapon at all at first, which is here. And this relation to foreign key allows this Django admin to give me this nice drop down of things. So has bomb, also is false, and etc. etc. So this way we build our thing, right? And when I read the entire database for a particular plan, I'm just grouping those things by the condition in here. Pretty straightforward. And yeah, there's some duplication in my tables, but who cares? As for my views, for viewing the thing, I have my template. I read my context for a plan. I read the entire plan variables and everything just in order to compose this actions, structure, and whatever. I also check, well, if I'm inside the get request, which is showing my template as is, then I should just not have any results in there. And if I post, well, for the same template, I would actually want to read whatever is there in the post body, right? So we are reading request post get. And if there's nothing inside there, it will not crash. So yeah. In original examples, there was something like this for choices. Yeah, like in documentation, but if the field is missing, then it would fail. So I'm not doing that. All right, so we modify our new world. uh, so that at least we keep our entire state of the UI, and we feed all that information with the results to the same template over here. So we render the same template as it is. And yeah, it freaking works. Let's go to maybe, what's it, localhost. It was number 4, right? I don't have my public URL set up yet. So again, this is just a simple template, not React application, not nothing. Let's actually see the template. I'm using basic HTML templating stuff. I'm showing basic Bootstrap. I'm using basic Bootstrap libraries for styles. I'm using the serif protection for my Django admin, which could be important. And I'm setting up my playground path for the post, right? Then I'm able to iterate over my world state items dictionary, and I just reference them by key and value over here. And if there's a value, meaning that it's checked or was checked, of course I'm setting HTML attribute to check, and all of that is nicely wrapped in Bootstrap's styles. And submitting, of course, is also Bootstrap style, blah blah blah. And we've got our second column where I just display a list of available actions that the algorithm was able to pick up. Nothing much. And you know what? I actually feel like since this is not a SPA application, not single page application. It's not dynamic whatsoever. Backend, as if Django is sending me the entire HTML as a template. It works freaking fast. Just look at it. So yeah, whenever I clicked it, yeah, it showed me the same data I put in, which is what I showed you before for my views. So if I just get the page for the first time, it would all the inputs would be empty. And if we are posting data that we have in here, the form itself will be, the state of that would be preserved. Yep. So yeah, I'm getting data from the database every time, and I'm pre-filling for UI whatever was set by me previously from HTML over here. So yeah, what's happening here? The result. So it feels like normal app actually. See weapon. Cool. So long story short, uh, I find that Django and Python are actually cool for productivity apps. Of course, it's it is a pain in the ass to set it up. So, for example, yeah, let's freaking delete that one. I hopefully don't mess up my things. You know what? Let's not do that. Also, no, wait. Let's do that. I want to fail. Yeah. Delete everything. So a lot of stuff is done for me by Django. And bam. Well, still doing the same thing. So we are injured, see bomb, see heal, whatever. Well, I was able to break it. We're not injured. So yeah, since we don't have that one action defined for healing, it was not able to attack because the algorithm is now smarter, I guess. But it didn't give us the option to proceed the way it would be a suicidal mission for the player, right? For the character. Yeah, it's actually a bummer. Well, having said that, the algorithm of this thing has some bugs. I didn't bother creating that way too smart. I was just trying to see if I'm able to build this productivity tool. Let's look at the Django admin panel. Oh, I don't have it in here. Let's see, where is it? It's the Django admin. I have my plan domain set up as model admin, and it has multiple extensions of models for admin to be able to present proper UI for them. So for plan domain model admin, I am setting up this model here and registering that in the admin. For the actions, the actions over here, search ammo and stuff like that, setting the show action, show change link just in order to see a change link. So if I go here, this change navigation is enabled by just one parameter, and I don't have to come up with crazy shitty UI ideas how to navigate to that. Yeah, lots of default, actually crazily default stuff. As for action states, for variables to show in my dropdown, I'm not sure if I did this correctly. So if we go here, see action states, these are filtered based on where we are on the page. So at the moment of writing, I wasn't really sure how the thing is done. I copied a bunch of stuff on the internet, and for variables query, I just selected every variable. I selected the parent of action, which is a plan domain, and I tried to search all the variables inside there. I sure know at this point that this could be done by proper parent relation, but again, this does the work. So form field for foreign key. This is the way to customize query for automatic UI generation in Django admin. So yeah, sorry for keeping this long, but again, as a CMS for editing my game development related structures for different clients, this actually is a superb tool right now. I set up this configuration without a hassle, and of course, had I continued developing these actions by hand and maintain these variables by hand, I would literally kill myself. But here, having cascade deletions and everything, I don't have to worry about my data way too much because, well, it's all handled by backend SQLite database. So again, this is for me, right? Uh, Thanks for watching, and see you next time.